Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. Aloha Friday indeed. So happy it's the weekend again. So happy. It's been so busy, but not too busy that I cannot grab all these little news topics that I'm going to cover today. And we start off with the first news topic in terms of Borderlands movie. I showed you just yesterday a shot of Jamie Lee Curtis, silhouette. Well, now it's the entire team there in Borderlands. The new cast picture for the upcoming Borderlands movie has been released. Interestingly, not a lot of people talking about this. I'm thinking there's not a lot of hype over this movie. Like, I've played Borderlands 1 and 2, so I'm definitely interested in watching to see how they go through the story for this one. Is it Borderlands 1, 2, or 3? I mean, let's see what happens. I'm trying to see what happens. Or has it really lost its steam already? And people are like not really into the Borderlands game, and those gamers are like, it's alright. So I don't know. I mean, it was always about the loot, right? I mean, that's the whole deal about Borderlands. Well, like if a Diablo movie came out, which actually has a great story to it, but I don't know. Would I be excited for? I would probably be more excited for a Diablo movie than Borderlands, because Borderlands to me, it's like it was more about the loot, the story. I mean, there was a lot of loot in Diablo, but there was still a very compelling story. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So that's Borderlands. All right. Mortal Kombat. We all want to know who Johnny Cage is going to be. We all know Ryan Reynolds wants to be Johnny Cage, but doesn't seem like that's going to happen. Apparently, there is a rumor that Charlie Hunnam, Green Arrow, will it be? He will not be, apparently. He's going to be Johnny Cage. The rumor has it that they want him to be Johnny Cage for the next movie, and they're actually putting a lot of emphasis on Johnny Cage for the next one. He's going to be the highlight for the next Mortal Kombat movie, which is exciting. I love Johnny Cage. I was disappointed there was no Johnny Cage in the first one, but when they set it up, I'm like, okay, they're setting up to come. But hopefully, Mortal Kombat did well enough, and I think it did, that it will warrant a sequel, which I hope it does, because I think Johnny Cage, I want to see that. Charlie Hunnam, though. Charlie Hunnam. I guess he could play it off. I guess he could. He certainly could look the part, with all the beard and mustache and everything, and the hair and everything. So that might be, Charlie Hunnam. Johnny Cage, will he be? We'll see about that. Paramount dates A Quiet Place Part 3. Already! The movie just came out. I didn't even get to watch it yet. Quiet Place Part 2. I don't know. Apparently it did so well. I'm sure it did. High critical rating and people love it. There is going to be A Quiet Place Part 3 for 2023, March 31st. And everybody was talking about this like, oh wow, this must be this is the end of the trilogy and everything and all that, which is awesome. But then there was a clarification today coming from Boris Kid. It says the new Quiet Place movie update clarification, despite some reports, the March 31st, 2023 is not for Part 3, but actually for the spin-off, written and to be directed by Jeff Nichols. So no, okay, so it's not the third movie. It's going to be a spin-off movie from Quiet Place. Quiet Place is becoming its own little franchise at this point. Right, we're gonna have spin-offs. Maybe we're gonna have anime. I don't know, but it's definitely growing and it's getting big. I still can't wait to watch The Quiet Place Part 2. I don't know if I get to watch it in theaters or not, but that would be something definitely to be missed. I mean, it's kind of funny because there was this TikTok video. I know it's going off topic, but they're saying that a lot of theaters don't want to play Quiet Place or Quiet Place 2 because they don't sell popcorn and drinks because it's too loud and people don't want to buy popcorn because they don't want to be loud in a Quiet Place movie. And I thought that's kind of funny. That's kind of interesting. But A Quiet Place is expanding, so Quiet Place fans, there you have it. That's pretty awesome. All right, another world that is expanding and getting a sequel is Into the Spider-Verse 2. And this time, I think I'm going to say her name wrong, but Issa Rae has been cast as Spider-Woman in the next Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie. By the way, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie, to me, and I don't care what you think, to me, is the absolute best Spider-Man movie ever. Ever. Okay? And I don't care if you feel differently. For me, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is my absolutely favorite Spider-Man movie. After I watched it, I was like, I want to see more. There's got to be more for this. I want to see the next adventures of Miles Morales. And of course, you know, all the other Spider-Mans in the different universes, in this multiverse of Spider-Man. And now we're going to have a little bit more. We're going to get Spider-Woman, and it's going to be awesome. I think this is going to be exciting. This is probably one of my anticipated Spider-Man movies. More than No Way Home, in a way. Although I really want to see Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire back, but I'm really excited for this animation. This animated movie is awesome. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse it's perfect. It's a perfect movie, right? So there's definitely can't wait for the sequel for that. Now let's get into some DC since we're talking about superheroes now. Grace Randolph actually talked about a rumor that was going around. Apparently there was a rumor, and I didn't talk about it because I was like, again, apparently Warner Brothers hate the new Batman movie, and there are things like they don't like Robert Pattinson. And I'm like, if Warner Brothers didn't like Robert Pattinson, they wouldn't give him the first look for the first look deal, right? So that doesn't make sense. But Grace Randolph says, I haven't heard anything about Warner Brothers execs having problems regarding the Batman. She did hear from several people. Film is extremely dark, and there's some concern regarding mainstream appeal. What Joker made over $1 billion. So let's hope Warner Brothers sticks to his gun this time. It's apparently fire. That concerns me if they are still doing that thing where like, oh God, it's too dark. Let's not put it out. I'm like, if they're still thinking that, they're morons. Like, they are morons. Literally, Joker made over $1 billion. That should show you enough that it's okay, right? Zack Snyder's Justice League, it's okay. Don't do that. Don't shut it off or shut it down or get nervous just because it's dark. Well, the Batman is dark. The Batman's always been dark. He lives in the dark. Like the Lego Batman movie literally has a song where he adds like darkness. You know, it's like, come on, like that's him. Of course, the Batman's going to be dark. So I don't see why they would have any concerns with this. Though John Campea, however you feel about him, did say that Warner Bros. Does love the Batman, and it's one of the best movies Batman movies that is going to come out. So we'll have to wait and see about that, right? So let's see what happens. I'm looking forward to the next trailer, which is probably going to be in DC fandom. Matt Reeves, if he's able to do whatever he wants to do, he probably is like, no, if you don't let me do this, I'm walking. Which he did once before, so they probably like, okay, never mind. Do whatever you want with the Batman and make it extremely dark and gritty and everything Batman-ish that you ever wanted. So there you have it. So that's in regards to the Batman. Speaking of the Batman, getting into it, we've got a little bit more from the Flash movie. This is Barbara Muschietti, her own Instagram, and she shot a picture with her and her brother, Andy Muschietti, and it says, I like that shirt, hand shot first, it's hilarious, a quarter in the can. And yes, we recycle quarter hecko. The Flash movie, it's big, like it's a big movie, and quarter in the can already, so there's the 3/4 more to go because of math. But yeah, they look like they're getting really going with that, and a lot of people within the industry, different scoopers, are saying it's a big multiverse movie. It's a multiverse Flash film. It's huge. There's a lot of characters. There's a lot of characters that they're not even hinting at yet. They're not even showing you yet. This is something, one of the biggest, and I'm like, wow, so it's not really a Flash film at this point. I mean, it almost sounds like a big blown multiverse infinite crisis on whatever Justice League movie, and I'm like, wow, they're gonna try to fit all that in there. I'm like, okay, let's see how it goes, because sometimes when you go too big, it falls down, right? You don't have a foundation, it just goes toot. And then sometimes if it goes big and you have a nice foundation, then it will steady the ship. So we'll see how that plays out. But definitely people are hearing that it is much bigger than you think, with a lot more characters than you think. And I'm like, really? Well, we'll have to wait and see. But speaking of that, Andy Muschietti did put out this picture this morning, and it is Batman. So there is the Batman shirt. It's not Ben Affleck's Batman, but it is Michael Keaton's Batman. Batman Returns, actually. Let me see if I got a picture of that. Batman Returns outfit, not the Batman 89 Batman, but the Batman Returns. Which is okay. I like the 89 Batman more than the Batman Returns, but whatever. That's the last time you see Michael Keaton as Batman, so I guess that's why they're utilizing that Batman, that suit, rather than the one before. Maybe that around that time that's when he retired. I don't know. Or did he keep fighting crime? I guess we'll see. And, you know, I guess he had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and some jelly went on to his emblem. No, I'm kidding. I mean, that's blood, right? So definitely, I don't know what part of that is, why that's there. It's probably maybe something happened. Someone died. That's his own blood. He's in a battle. He's coughing up blood. He's an old man after all. I don't know. So, but I like that. I mean, just having blood on that, not only does that bring, you know, the visual of like the Watchmen comedian, you know, smiley face with the blood on it, but it also kind of just brings you to like, well, there's some stakes there, right? The blood alone, it's like, yes, that's really cool. They got nostalgia. They're bringing back Batman Returns, but in a way that is not only just to get nostalgia people really liking this movie or really getting involved, like getting the old and the new at the same time, or at least our generation, but also having some stakes in it by having there's going to be possible deaths and possible, maybe not Batman himself, but possible situations where it's very dark, you know, like the It movie. There's some both parts, right? There are some comedic moments, but there are some really heavy stuff. I mean, there are still like dark moments. It's a horror film after all, but this is Muschietti. So he could be bringing and just showing a little bit of blood, and that says, you know, it's not going to be a full-on kids film here. We are absolutely putting in some adult, mature themes, mature ideas in this. At least to me, that's what I'm seeing in this. So there is something there with that. My other brain was like, well, that's cool. That's kind of like the comedian Watchmen. Guess who played the comedian? Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Maybe this is like hinting that Jeffrey Dean Morgan is indeed going to cameo in this movie because there's some blood over there. Get out of here. You know, there's always that little mind in the back of my mind who are like, maybe it's this. And I'm like, nah, let's not go too far with this. You know, let's not get carried away. But anyway, it's Batman Returns. Michael Keaton's back in the suit. He's definitely shooting that, I guess. I wonder how he looks, you know, the more older, grizzled face. Is he going to have a beard and mustache? I don't know. We'll see. So, yeah. So they got a quarter in the can. They'll probably finish shooting. I'm expecting shooting before DC Fandom, and they should be able to cut a teaser or trailer together for that event. All right. So we're talking about Batman. Let's talk about Superman. Not really sure if this is about Superman, but this is Henry Cavill. He put on Instagram, one of the lucky few to get approval to travel to the U.S. for work. Looking forward to getting some great work done out here with my partners. Traveling with the bear, of course, and you can't be putting him in hold for that length of time, so he gets the bed in the back. So I guess he's right there. Oh, he's so cute. The traveling bear. So, yeah, he's going to the United States to probably work. And for people, I don't know if anybody was able to zoom in to the script he's reading there, don't know what script is that for. He's doing multiple things. It could be Highlander. It could be that Mass Effect movie. He was reading a script for Mass Effect that he's probably going to be Commander Shepard. I don't think it's Sherlock Holmes. That would be, you know, where he was at, I think. And it's probably, and if we're thinking, okay, let's think if this is DC. And some people were actually tweeted out that oh, I'm hearing something about Henry Cavill's Superman, and I'm like, well, and something about Flash or Black Adam. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Because if he's going to US, and hopefully that plane is actually going to Atlanta, and if that is, then there is a big, there is reason to believe it'll be either for Black Adam or Shazam, right? So Henry Cavill fans, just keep an eye out on his Instagram, his whatever, see where he's headed next. Look around where he's shooting his video or whatever. If it's in Atlanta, that's exciting. That means it's because both Shazam, Fury of the Gods, and Black Adam are shooting in Atlanta. So if that's for that, awesome. It's not the Flash, because the Flash is shooting the UK. So you can write that off. He's not shooting the Flash. But if he's shooting Shazam, Fury of the Gods, or Black Adam, that could be exciting. Or Shazam, Fury of the Gods, and Black Adam. If that's the case, Shazam, Fury of the Gods, and Black, that means he's got a little bit more on his contract, a little bit more movies, not just one contract left. That means he probably signed something, or maybe, I'm thinking, just curious, holding fingers crossed, because I still want him as Superman. He's Superman to me, that he could appear in both movies. And like I said from the other night before, that would be pretty awesome to get from one Black Adam cameo scene to the Shazam Fury of the Gods cameo scene, and then hit it off, and then the sequels will actually have, Superman versus Black Adam, Superman with Shazam versus Black Adam, something like that. Because that's his world. That's the Garcias, right? They're all part of the same team, $7 production. Why wouldn't they push and pull to try get Henry Cavill as Superman into the DCEU, back into the DCEU rather? So hopefully, I'm crossing all fingers for that. That's exactly what people are hearing, that could be the case. So let's see where it lands. If it's in Atlanta, then that'd be pretty awesome. All right. So, Tyrone Magnus got to talk to Zack Snyder. Had a great interview. And they covered a lot of stuff. They covered a lot of rumor squashing things. Like Warner Brothers here. This is a clip about Warner Brothers not actually communicating with Zack at all.
I haven't heard from them at all. Like, from the deal after I released the movie, I haven't gotten a phone call, or it's been radio silence. So I don't. The only communication was Anne's article after the movie was released, but that wasn't directly to me; it was to people. And that was, yeah. I haven't heard from them at.
So he does say that Warner Bros. No communication whatsoever. He does see that Zack Snyder's Justice League is doing well in UK, on Samba, and all these numbers, and it just feels like it was really successful, even though they haven't shared any information. The only thing he's seen was the Ann Sarnoff interview, which we all read together, pretty much. So that's sad. That's pretty sad for Warner Bros. To kind of ghost them after having one of the most successful streaming movies on the service for HBO Max. So that's pretty terrible of them. He does say that, just like other interviews before, that he does is optimistic that, or maybe just hoping that Discovery will be different, that Discovery will reach out, and if they do, he definitely say yes, let's go, let's make that movie, let's make Justice League. He also kind of debunked, in a way, Black Adam, like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson really fighting for, at least maybe he doesn't know, but he said that if, Black Adam would be perfect for his world if that was ever something that he'd put in, which is cool. He's open for that. So, hey, if it works out, Discovery says yes to Zack Snyder's Justice League, he could potentially bring in Zachary Levi, Dwayne Johnson, anybody he wants from the DCU, because they're opening it's a give and take, right? They're opening their arms to him as well as him opening their arms to them, the other way around. So that could happen if Discovery, has a brain and Warner Bros. Grows, so, but that could pretty happen. I'm I'm hoping for that. I'm still optimistic for that. So we'll see what happens when David Zaslav starts going around. Maybe, hey, David, if you fly out to Pasadena, California, meet up with a creative talent that knows exactly what he needs to do for his DCE, that would be pretty sweet. They also go over Army of the Dead, and he hints about exploring the universe more. He even hints about that they may still be alive, right? Scott, everybody, they may all still be alive because of this whole time situation, loop situation, and the world, how it's growing, may actually be a little bit more massive than how it was originally going to be. Like, it starts off as like a zombie thing, and it starts to get something bigger because we want to know the zombies' origins. So I'm thinking aliens and cyborgs and robots, and I think the robot zombies, he was calling them sentinels or something like that. It was really cool stuff. A lot of really cool ideas that he wants to keep exploring, and I think Netflix is probably going to do it. They constantly keep marketing Army of the Dead with all this content. The Snyder School, Guzman had a zombie killing little video for his little thing. I don't even wonder if he has a real YouTube. I don't think he does. But yeah, it's really fun to see that. He also talks about doing that original sci-fi. He wants to go full-blown original sci-fi, monsters and world creating and a lot of cool stuff. And with a partner, like you said, with Netflix, he could definitely explore lots of things with that, lots of things with him without having to, especially with his own IP, without having to say, is this okay, or things like that. They'll probably they'll just say, all right, that's cool, let's go, do what you need to do, and we'll definitely push forward, we'll market it and everything like that. And that's really cool to see that type of relationship. Just like Tyrone says, you fall out from one relationship, you get to a new relationship, and feel that this new relationship really takes care of you. They really have you in the thoughts and feelings and stuff like that, and they really want to work with you. And it's such a big difference. And so I like that analogy between him working for Netflix as a company and a relationship with a significant other. So I think that's a really cool thing, and I'm so happy Zack he's a lot brighter, a lot happier working with Netflix. So yeah, keep doing that, keep going, keep making stuff over there, until Discovery opens up their arms and does something. We'll have to wait and see. David Zaslav will actually do that, but it's great to have that cool little interview there, debunking a lot of bunch of things. Oh, he also said that he wouldn't mind making an anime thing like Dragon Ball Z one day, and I'm like, oh yes, Zack Snyder's Dragon Ball Z. I don't know if he'll touch other IPs right now. I think he still wants to do his original IP, but he's into that, so that's kind of cool. And like I said, if you absolutely love this daily dose of entertainment news and content, please click the like button, hit the subscribe button, ring that notification bell, keep this hot dog light on, and I'll see you next time. Bye.